Good morning. How are you doing today? I believe you're doing great. Okay, welcome to another episode of learning. Um, Today we're going to be taking an overview of the computer system, and I just want you to take out time and listen to the video, follow the slides, a little jot, and don't limit yourself to this. You can go ahead. If you have questions, check out Google, type in, and ask a question. All right, now let's begin our class today with the definition of a computer system. It is very important that as a user of the computer, you know or have a proper definition of the computer system. Now, as you can see on the screen, a computer is an electronic device that accepts data, process the data, and give out information. So you can put it this way: a computer is any device that processes data. Now, when we talk about electronic device, the television is an electronic device, the radio is an electronic device. But what makes the computer different is the fact that it accepts data, process the data, and give out information. Now, having said that, let's look at the parts of a computer. Now, the computer is broadly divided into two parts. Okay. Now, later on in the course of learning and working together, we get to see that there's actually a third part. But for the now, it is divided into two parts. And what are they? You're wondering. Number one, the hardware. Okay, and number two is the software. Now let's look at the hardware in details. Now the hardware are the physical parts of the computer. They are the parts of the computer you see, you touch. For instance, you want to work with a computer, you grab your mouse, you type with your keyboard. Okay, you're touching the monitor. Now these are hardware. You see them, you touch them. Okay, they are physical, they are tangible. Now we call them hardware. Okay, let's look at some examples of hardware. There are so many examples of computer hardware. So many examples of computer hardware. We're just going to mention a few here, and let's begin with the mouse. We have the keyboard, we have the speaker, we have the joystick, we have the scanner, we have the system unit, we have the monitor, we have the printer, we have the flash drive, and so many others. Like I said, as we work together, we get to see this hardware, we get to see their function, and we get to learn a lot other. Now, having seen examples of hardware, there's one more thing about the hardware which you need to know, and that's the categories of hardware, or rather we can put it this way. Inasmuch as hardware are physical parts of the computer we see, we touch, they are grouped into categories based on their function. Now, some of this hardware serve the purpose of taking in data into the computer. Some serve the purpose of storing that data. Some serve the purpose of displaying the result of the processed data, and some serve the purpose of processing the data. So based on this, we have four different categories of hardware. Number one being the input device, number two the output device, number three the processing device, number four the storage device. Okay, so we have the input, output, processing, and storage device. So far so good. I want to believe you're following. Okay, all right, now let's forge ahead and quickly take a look at the software. Now, logically, telling someone that the computer hardware is parts of the computer we see, we touch, it is logically, anyone would just want to assume software are parts we don't see and we can't touch. However, that's not a proper definition for computer software. As we can see on the screen, the computer software are a set of instructions that controls the computer system or the computer hardware. What do I mean by that? They tell the computer what to do, how to do it. Okay, so you need to know something here. Without the software, the computer is useless. Okay, so what makes your computer function as it were is the presence of a software. Now let me give this analogy. I don't know what's your favorite okay, let's say your favorite car. Let me ask you, what's your favorite car? I'm guessing you're saying Toyota. Okay, whatever brand of Toyota is, let's say Toyota is your favorite car. Okay, and you go to the market, let's say, and get a brand new Toyota for yourself. Okay, or someone purchased the car for you, or someone gave it to you as a gift. Anyhow, you just acquire a brand new Toyota car. Now you can see the car, you can touch it, you can enter inside it, you can feel parts of it, the dashboard, the steering, the gearbox, and the rest of them. And then on its own, that car cannot move. It can't go anywhere. Now, for the car to function properly, someone has to be inside controlling the car, and that's being the driver. In other words, you step in, you ignite the car. Now you perform an action, okay, and then you step on the accelerator, as the case may be, set your gear. You are giving instruction to the car, and then it is executing that instruction. Now, if you step out of the car and the car is just there, it's not going to drive itself, it's just going to be there. So meaning, even if you get your dream car, if you or nobody is there to drive it, it is just there, and over time it's beginning to wear off. So let's look at another example. You got a new television set, and then you fix it on the wall, and it's just there. There's no decoder connected to it, no DVD player connected to it, no antenna connected. Now let me ask you, what do you think is going to happen when you put on the TV? It's just going to show a blank screen, isn't it? Now, either a blue screen or nothing. So the new TV is just going to be down the wall staring at you staring at TV. It's going to save you nothing, because there is nothing instructing it on what to do, and that's where the software comes in. So I want to believe now when you get your Go TV connected, it begins to show your favorite station, your Z World, and the rest of that. So all we're trying to say is, without a software, the hardware, the computer is useless. It can't do anything. So meaning, for my computer to be fully functional, I need not just the hardware but also the software. So with this analogy, I want to believe you now understand properly what the software is, what the hardware is, and how both of them need each other to function well. Now let's quickly look at examples of software. We have Microsoft Word, we have Windows 10, we have Android. Okay, of course you're familiar with Word. Android, it's an operating system used on mobile device. We're going to see a lot about that later when we deal with operating system. Now we also have Marvis Beacon, which teaches you how to type. We have Corel Draw, I introduced you to this recently, and we have Microsoft Excel, and we have PowerPoint and Chrome and Google and VLC Media Player and lots more. We cannot exhaust the list of softwares we have. Now, having said that, there are different types of software which you need to know. Okay, we have the system software and we have the application software. We have the system software and we have the application software. I'm not going to explain this now. It's going to be a lecture for another class. So generally, we've looked at an overview of the computer system, its definition, the parts of the computer, okay, the different categories of those parts, and how each of them need one another to function. Now, I want to bring something to your attention, that for your computer system to function properly, all the different parts must be connected together, and the software must be running on them. Okay, on this note, we are going to call it a day for today on overview of the computer system. Now, I quickly want to leave you with this assignment, which I expect you to do. Okay, I want to plead with you to do it. Okay, do your best, your very best. Okay, and then once you're done with the assignment, you're going to type it, okay, with your phone or a system as it were, and send it to my email. Okay, now we're also going to use this to get to learn how to communicate via mails. All right. Okay, so assignment number 1, you list 4 examples of application software, list 4 examples of system software, and list 2 examples of input and output devices. And my email remains joshua@gmail.com. I want to believe you have learned something today. If you have questions, you can also send me your questions via my mail. And okay, so on this note, we're going to call it a day for today. Thank you so very much for your time, patience, and listening.